As I said at the beginning, that we want to welcome the EU delegation to meet with us. I know it's a long way from Harare to come and meet with us here in Gloria. But anyway, all the same, they are welcome to the City of Kings. We discussed the EU-Zimbabwe dialogue, primarily. That we said that there are issues with the global political agreement. We want to see the full implementation. That's why we have put these matters to SADC. However, there has been progress. We are disappointed that the pace of implementation of the global agreement has been slow, but I'm sure that between the three political leaders, we should be able to sit down and deal with those issues. There were also issues around the constitutional reform and other reforms that the EU is legitimately concerned about. We also raised the issue of economic cooperation, and I'm sure that we're able to express the opinions about our economic difficulties and how, in view of our debt stock, we can be able to alleviate that. But basically, our message was that we want to see real change in the country for the good of the people. After all, we are supposed to deliver to the people, and that there has to be substantive change of behavior on all of us in order that we can all move as one country which wants to see Zimbabweans' concerns being addressed. And on that score, I'm sure that Minister Carlson will be in a position of also explaining the discussion.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And since the visit of the Prime Minister to Europe in June, where the first steps took to an updated dialogue between Zimbabwe and EU, we are now here in a Troika meeting together with the Commission and the Presidency of the European Union to elaborate and to see the progress when it comes to the global political agreement. We would like to engage with the government of national unity, but we are of course also concerned about that some progress are not made as speedily as we would like to see, specifically when it comes to some political reforms. And that's why we are here to meet with the three signatories of the agreement to discuss and to see what's the status, what's the obstacles, and how do you deal with them, because it's in the interest for the Zimbabwean people, and also a commitment from the European Union side that we care and we would like to come back to relations with Zimbabwe again.
Well, very shortly, Mr. Prime Minister, the reason we are coming to Zimbabwe is we want this government of national unity to be a success. And on the one hand, it's to a certain extent a fact-finding mission. We want to find out how we can better help your country. On the other hand, we also want to be informed about the political evolution in your country, because we think that only with the political evolution going in the right direction, we can also together deliver on the economic, the social, and for example, the health sector. So we are exploring how to get further with this process. But on the other hand, when we say that personally, I'm rather, how would I say, pleased by the judgment of the Prime Minister, which is in fact a very courageous judgment. I think that on the one hand, there is progress. Yes, it's not always easy, it's always difficult in fact, but there is progress, but there is no alternative, and that we have to do this to the benefit of the Zimbabwean people.
And Prime Minister, if I may, it was also very good for us to meet with ministers that from the economic side we now see that there is some recovery on the macroeconomic. We also talked about education and health sectors that are very important for the people, and that's why it was also good to meet parts of the government here in Bulawayo. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, are there any questions?
We'll take a few questions.
Yes,
yeah.
Prime Minister.
of restrictive measures or sanctions discussed? And what was
Well, I know that the media is find this as a petty project, but I want to assure you that yes, the issue came up. What is the advice? And we're very clear on it and very frank on it. We said there is an EU-Zimbabwe dialogue, and one of the agenda items on that dialogue is the issue that you have raised. And I'm sure that it will be tackled within that bilateral discussion.
Okay, one more question? Yes.
They talk about political reforms, not even made. What are the political reforms that are needed to make?
Well, what is envisaged is, of course, we need to make sure that the constitutional reform process is back online, back on rail, and moving in terms of the timeline that we have set for ourselves. The issue of national healing program, the issue of commissions, the media commission for you guys, and other commissions that are important. Those are all political reforms that are necessary to ensure that we are actually in line. And security sector reforms, those are the reforms that are necessary to ensure that there is some momentum on it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.